Hi friends, happy Hanukkah. Tonight's the fourth night, so I have my fourth gift to you, which are words of inspiration that have to do with the subject of light. Now when we go back to the story of Genesis, the creation of man, we know that Adam's stature was so big that he reached up into the heavens and he radiated with light. He was so majestic, so big, so almost like a god that the angels themselves had confused him for a god. And he was translucent with the light of Hashem, and he radiated. After he sinned, what happened? His physical stature was diminished, the light receded, and he was nothing that resembled his former self or his former glory. Then came along the Torah. And as I mentioned a couple of days ago, the Gemara says that the Torah is the only light. Now what is the Torah? It's the consciousness of God. It's God's essence inside the Torah. And when we plug into the Torah, we are plugging in to the light and thereby becoming illuminated. The Torah has 613 commandments, 248 positive, 365 negative, meaning don't do's. And the rabbis teach that each one of those corresponds to a body part, limbs, tendons, corresponding to the body. And that's why when we do a mitzvah, each body part is elevating the entire being and tapping in to the light, because man is a microcosm of the universe, and everything that we do with every body part has its repercussions in the higher world. So when we say do a commandment, many people will think, okay, do a good deed. And in a general sense, it's good, it's true, it's nice. But the meaning of the word mitzvah in Hebrew means to connect. So when we do a mitzvah, we are connecting to the light, thereby illuminating ourselves. Now it's very interesting. I'm sure many people have heard of an aura. Everybody has an aura. You know, you hang out with that person, they just have a good aura about them. The funny thing is that the word aura originates from Hebrew, from the Hebrew word or, which means light. The word halo also comes from the Hebrew word hilo, like he illuminated by him. It means light. It all comes from Hebrew. And in Judaism, we believe in the or hamakif. When you're about to do a mitzvah, or when you do a mitzvah, but even if you didn't start it yet, but your intention, you already create around you a light of protection. That's why if somebody will give you $5 before you go somewhere, you'll be a shaliach mitzvah. You're going to be the emissary for the good deed. Just the fact that you are already the emissary, you are already surrounded by a protective light of God. That all sounds really wonderful. But is it true? Interestingly enough, a few years ago, and it's just preliminary science and studies and tests, but a special camera, and this camera actually is not a few years ago, but the science is obviously advancing, a special camera was developed that was able to catch the light around people, the aura. They did a study. They took a picture of an individual before, and then they had that same person put on their tefillin, the Jewish, the thing you wrap around your arm, and you see the Jewish men have it on their head, the tefillin. The aura of the after was remarkably different from the before. The same was true for every single person that did it. After the mitzvah of engaging in the activity of putting on the tefillin, the aura became a color of purple, which is a very high level of light. The same was true for women who lit the Shabbat candles and afterward The camera captured an aura about them that was different than prior to. So when we engage in God's mitzvot, we are tapping into the light, we are illuminating ourselves, and it's not such a hard thing to imagine, because even in spectrography, we see that there are instruments which capture aspects of light and break down light, or the Doppler effect. They're able to measure by light how quickly a planet is either taking off from Earth or getting closer to Earth by its color. And also the speed. If it's going quickly far away or quickly in a direction, it's going to be red. If it's slowing down and approaching, it's going to be blue. So we are able to measure the activity of things by their light. So when Adam sinned, as I said, he lost his light. And Moshe, after receiving the second set of the 10 Commandments, when he came down, the people couldn't even look at him anymore because his face was radiating with the light of Hashem. It was so powerful, his light, that he actually had to wear a mask. But what it teaches us is that the Torah gives us the opportunity to reverse the sin of Adam. Adam's light was removed because of his sin, but Moshe Rabbeinu brought down the remedy to again reignite the flame and the light within us, to glow again with the glow of God and have that connection once again by keeping the mitzvot. So these are really some profound thoughts to think about as I advise you to be the light and to see the light, and to wish you once again a very happy Chanukah.